Good morning, friends. The third day of December is designated to International Day of Persons with Disabilities. It is also called International Day of Disabled Persons or International Day of Differently Abled Persons. It was proclaimed by the United Nations in 1992 in its General Assembly. Promoting an understanding of issues connected to disability and mobilizing support for the dignity, rights and well-being of persons with disabilities is the purpose of the day. The purpose includes also increasing awareness of gains to be derived from the integration of persons with disabilities in every aspect of social, political, economic and cultural life. The day visualizes a plan of action at the local, national, regional and international levels with an emphasis on equalization of opportunities, rehabilitation and prevention of disabilities. Member states, civil society organizations and the private sector are invited to organize various events for celebrating the day. The celebration is geared towards raising awareness and promoting the rights and perspectives of persons with disabilities around the world. Full participation and equality has been the major theme that fostered the right of persons with disabilities to take part fully in the life and development of their societies. The theme includes also helping them enjoy living conditions equal to those of other citizens and having equal share in improved conditions born of socio-economic development. Besides, the United Nations had proclaimed 1983 to 1992 a decade of disabled persons. This was in view of providing a time frame for governments and organizations to implement the activities recommended in the World Programme of Action. The decade was also intended to motivate concerned persons all the more towards the objective. A few of the important themes that were considered in the yesteryears are accessibility for all, independent living and sustainable livelihoods, rights of persons with disabilities, making the Millennium Development Goals inclusive, and decent work for persons with disabilities. A few more themes could be cited, such as empowerment of persons with disabilities and their families around the world, together for a better world for all, break barriers, open doors for an inclusive society and development for all, and participation and leadership of persons with disabilities. On the above day in 2012, the government of the United Kingdom introduced mandatory employment for disabled persons in view of improving their well-being. This is indeed a milestone in the history of welfare schemes for persons with disabilities. Upholding human rights, sustainable development, and peace and security have a disability inclusion as an essential condition. The central clause of Sustainable Development Goals 2030 also necessitates a preferential commitment to persons with disabilities. Further, the commitment to the rights of persons with disabilities is not a mere matter of justice, but it is an investment in a common future. Therefore, in view of innovative fueling of an accessible and equitable world, transformative solutions for inclusive development are called for. More often than not, people with disabilities and vulnerable situations are left behind, more so in moments of crisis. The hardest hit people among COVID-19 victims were persons with disabilities as well. Therefore, governments, public and private sectors have to collaborate in innovative solutions to make a world that is more accessible and equitable, especially for persons with disabilities. The United Nations has been striving to raise the standard of the organization by performing disability inclusion from the headquarters to the field. It has been affirming the full and complete realization of the human rights of persons with disabilities as its inalienable, integral, and indivisible part. This is a source of inspiration for the rest of the world. Measures have to be continually innovated for disability inclusive development, mainly in terms of employment and equality. This is imperative considering the rapidly changing technological landscape of the world. Inequalities are to be addressed both in the private and public sector as well. Some statistics could be of use. Out of 1 billion persons with disabilities, 80% live in developing countries. Among older people aged 60 years, some 46% is estimated to be persons with disabilities. 1 in every 5 women is likely to be disabled in life, while 1 in 10 children is a child with disability. It is a fact that any human being could have been born with some disability or other. It's also true that those with a certain disability are not lesser humans. For that matter, those who consider themselves fairly fit have a duty to be extra kind and considerate of those with some disability or other. This is a primary duty as human beings. Therefore, the active participation of persons with disabilities in their full diversity ought to be recognized. They have to be fully included in the processes of decision making as well. The service extended to persons with disabilities is service par excellence, and that has to be taken as a service equal to the status of divinity. On the occasion of International Day of Persons with Disabilities 2023, on behalf of Institute of Harmony and Peace Studies, New Delhi, I wish to make a strong appeal to my fellow humans in India and world over. Let us consider service to our sisters and brothers with disabilities as a service to God Himself. Let us also keep innovating ways and means to make our country and society inclusive of persons with disabilities, along with having them partakers of the decisions and actions. May God bless our sisters and brothers with disabilities in abundance. Thank you.